Hello, Dr. Thompson. It's Liam here, and like I told you at the last day of golf school, I was going to send you this video so that as you progress forward in your game, you can recall what we worked on in the golf school, and so hopefully it helps you practice and get better at this game. We're looking right now at your chipping motion because I kind of felt as we went along that the best benefit of that school for you was going to be in around the green. That's kind of where I thought we had the most room for improvement. So anyway, this is your setup hitting a shot here, and it's a good looking setup. We have some good shaft lean, which means that the hands are in front, the shaft is leaning back. And if you can for me, there is a shaft, but imagine an extension of the shaft, as you will. That extension of the shaft, the button of the shaft would kind of point up the left arm, if that makes sense. So we'll clear that out. We'll watch you swing it back. And certainly, depending on how far we're trying to hit the shot, there's going to be a certain degree of hinge. So notice you have a little bit of hinge here. It looks like we're trying to hit the shot maybe past 25 yards for sure, maybe 30, 40 yards. So we're swinging down. And we're already starting to lose a little bit of our wrist hinge here. So as we approach the ball, I'm looking at the fact that this arm and club are already a straight line. Okay, if we had set our hands in front, and if we had hinged the club, then that club head ought to be more back along this type of line right here. So we're already using our wrist a little bit. And it's hard to see in here, but I want you to watch. This is impact right there. So notice the shaft is not really leaning that much back anymore. So we had more shaft lean on at the moment we had set up. If you can notice for me too, here's the butt end of the club, just the grip into the club right there. And that's doing what I call flashing across the window. So as I draw a line up the shaft again and try to imagine where an extension of it is, that is much closer to the right arm now than it was when we set up to the left arm. And when you do that, your left elbow tends to jam or bend out just a little bit, almost like you're giving somebody an elbow. Okay. What I do like about this chipping stroke is what we worked on the first day, and that is getting your body to turn and pivot. So even that if our hands aren't as in front as we'd like them, at least we're probably not going to hit as far behind the ball or as often because we're moving our body a little bit. Here's a little bit later. I think we worked on it for a few minutes. And this is what I think probably the most important thing for you to take away from the golf school is. So we have a little more shaft lean on this, a little exaggerated, but that's okay. And again, the extension of the shaft points up your left arm. As we go back. Again, shot of the same length, I'm guessing, so a little wrist hinge. As we come down, just a little bit of lag right there, so a little bit better than what we looked at before, so not quite a straight line. The moment of impact, you see where our hands are in front. So not as much shaft lean as we had it set up, but at least we're leaning this club from front to back right there. And this is really good going through here. So notice the shaft of the club, the butt end, you can see it right here, just a little glimmer of black right there. That's still pointed up the left arm more. Still keeping it up that way. Okay, much better. Never really, the butt end of the club doesn't flash across your arms and point back to your right arm. It stays further up against your left arm. So when we hit shots of this length in the backswing, we're going to hinge our wrist a little bit. Then we're really trying to pull left. Really trying to pull left. And I want you to imagine for me, if you will, a little bit that we're kind of more down the line angle. The club head ought to kind of point out to the right-hand side of your hands. So your hands are here. Club head is pointed to the right-hand side of your hands. That's a real sign of not flipping, if you will, and not using your hands to the shot. And when you do that, I think you'll compress the ball better on the ground and make more consistent contact. Couple that with our short game strategy of trying to get the ball in the front of the green and then trying to figure out how to make the ball roll the rest of the way to whatever hole we're going, whether that's a high shot or a low shot. I don't have any videos of you putting, but what I want you to work on putting is what we worked on the second day, the beginning of the second day there, and that is to get the putter head moving more down the line and the face of the club more square. And I know it felt unusual for you, but I think you liked the contact when we worked with it. You're welcome to use that little yellow arc that we used that day. So here's your golf swing at the start of the 2-day school. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing you just a little farther away from the ball and hands a little lower, a little bit more bent over. But you know, you have a pretty good golf swing. So I mean, there's really pretty good position there. I mean, the face might be just a sliver open, but it's not much, maybe a degree or two. So it's not hardly enough to talk about. But to me, here's the bad move for you. Watch your hands and watch your arms and watch your club head moving out and away from that original shaft line. You can tell if you look at your right foot, your right toes in the ground, right heel's off the ground. So when people do that, they get towards the toes too much because they're swinging out, throwing the club away from them. The club head is coming down through your shoulders, which is too steep. And you can already tell that you've already casted the golf club. So your thumb is kind of flexed away from your right forearm, if you will. So the club is outside the ball there, coming back inside. So if you notice the club head comes down away from that red line, you're on your toes a little bit, and now gets on the red line coming through. So it's an out to in across the top motion. We see a little bit more from this close-up view I did right here. Your hands and arms are throwing the club, what we call over the top or too far away. That club is coming down from this camera angle kind of through the mouth. Yeah, that is too far. We want the club dropping more behind us. And what we see from the front angle then when we make this swing, let me rewind it here a second, I was looking at it earlier. It looks like your ball position's back there, but that's mostly camera angle. I'm a little too far in front of you. But when someone makes the over-the-top move, again, they've casted the golf club, so draw that same line from your elbow to your hand. Club is already extended. We'd love to see that club head hanging back a little bit, so it's still hinged. You know, so when you do that, you kind of hit the ball on the upswing. Club head's in front of the hands. Anyone that does that, you're going to see a little chicken wing to their swing. That left elbow, again, not getting out there and extended, but kind of curving out behind the body there. And so what we want you to do is similar to this. I had you take a practice swing. We'll draw the same line here. And this practice swing is probably a little exaggerated, but not much. Good looking position here. And notice that the hands and arms drop more down towards the right hip. Notice the club head is falling down, so as it's coming down, it's more dissecting your rear end. Ideally, it would almost be right on the right elbow. Okay, the club comes more from the inside out. You can see how naturally the arms want to extend there and fold more correctly, allowing the face to release correctly. I think this is the one I was watching that I thought was a better motion. We'll find out here shortly. Yeah, so you can see the club head is dropping back down towards the right elbow on the line. Impact, and now the club is going to move a little away from that line. That's what we want to see more of right there. Any little bit we can go towards that direction, the golf swing will be better. So as you move back, just try to turn those hips a little bit better. I think we talked about that a little bit. Try to spin them in place a little bit more, get a little more reach to your backswing. So anyway, I want you to focus on the short game. Remember some of these ideas that we talked about, and I think your game will get better. Thank you, Doctor.